Hey there, team. So, coming into another 1v1 here, we've got the Falas and the Avari elves clashing. So, the Falas elves, or the elves of the Falas, they are, again, a faction I've got a bit of a grasp with, a bit of an understanding of anyway. Very, yeah, well, by the looks of it here, yeah, not too much has changed from when I last was aware. A lot of their line very low armor, very kind of Linden-esque. With that, I'm seeing decent shield values though, which is hopefully going to make up for that. And we've got the likes of the Warriors of Eglarest, but again, like 6 armor value is not super duper high. Lots of javelins from the last time I saw them, but maybe that's different now. No, so it still seems to be the same. Only really one cavalry unit, but again, it is an anti-cavalry force, so yeah, I could see me enjoying that. Once again, we do have this artillery present. We might get that scene. I think artillery in a 1v1 is always a pretty risky shout. The Avari though is something a little bit wild. I have actually done a 1v1 against the Avari. I will be showing that at some point, but we've got, so I understand a little bit. We got these stone hewers. Now I assumed by the idea of this like, stone hewer that they were anti-cavalry, not anti-cavalry. Sorry, anti-armor, but I'm not seeing an anti-armor ability from them. So we do have that sort of nasty charge value, but no, okay, cool. So bonus fighting cavalry here, they've got the Gloom Hunters. Okay, so that's interesting enough. Yeah, they're not like looking spears there. Looks like they are sort of blades. Perhaps that it's a little bit different when we actually get in there. They've got their wards? I don't actually know how to say that word. I'll probably say the wards of the Darkling Woods though. Host of the Withered Ash, I really like that. Now these guys are very interesting. The Thorned Ancients. Yeah, like very like trinket. Oh my god, 8 hit points and locked morale. Okay. Barkskin Missile. Wait a second, what? Oh, Barkskin Missile Resistance 3. Okay, so they have an extra missile resistance. That's kind of cool, so you don't really want to be shooting them down. Alright, okay. Moss Stalkers there. The Thorn Casters. Alright, so I didn't face these. I've not seen these before. Then, yeah, Rangers. The First Refusers, I like their vibe. And then the Shades. There is also the Grandfather. Oh, goodness me. Wait, so is this... It's only got 6. Is this just one model, do you think, then? That's not like the Ents. This is just one absolute horrifically powerful Ent. But yeah, okay, cool. So this is just a 1v1. Don't know what sort of fancy tools we'll see getting used. But yeah, should be fun. I'm very excited to see some of this. It looks generally... kind of similar in some ways to the Green Elves, just a lot of very kind of strange stuff, and much less of an archer focus. So less of an archer, more about, you know, getting pretty brutal, getting aggressive, maybe a little bit ambushy. Cool. So yeah, we'll jump straight into this. All right. So okay, so it looks like we've got Panthan playing as the Elves of the Falas today. So, I mean, yeah, lots of numbers here. Lots of nice white armor. Well, lack of armored. As some of them. No, okay, Warriors of Eglarest. So they are the decently armored boys. Marksmen of Balar up front. Marines of Eglarest there. So again, yeah, more fragile, but the little javelin boys, you kind of expect that. Arn Kir Lim, who are these boys again? Oh yeah, I really love the look of these guys. Yeah, so just very solid looking sword and board there. More Warriors of Eglarest, so a bit more fragile, but it'll be interesting to see if Panthan wants to keep them in the back lines or if he's going to expose them to the front, even though they are lighter armored. Oh, sorry, no, those are the Warriors of Eglarest. Ah. Nope, alright, cool. But still, it'll be interesting to see, does he put his sort of more heavily armoured units in the forefront, or does he put his more fragile units in the forefront? And we've got the general in with the Mariners, with the sort of special Regiment of Renown type 5. Much faster battle, but I think that's generally, as we looked at, the Avari Elves seem to be very sort of hyper-aggressive, or at least very ambush focused. So I think it's going to be kind of similar vibes to a lot of these very aggressive factions. You're either winning very quickly or you're losing very quickly. You know. So, oh, I like this. Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. A little bit of tree cover here and there, but maybe not as much tree cover as the Avari would want. But there's still a good bit, and it's pretty flat. So, and no cavalry taken from Panthan today. It looks like his enemy is doing quite a wide formation, which I mean it makes sense because he's probably wanting to sort of get all around him. He's got these stone heroes. Okay, having a look at them, yeah, oh goodness me, they're very very daunting, aren't they? Yeah, they don't quite look like good guys here, but yeah. Then a lot of hidden units, no doubt. More of these stone hewers here. So I can see, yeah, looking at them, yeah, they don't look armor piercing. It was just the name that sort of sprung out as like, oh, an armor piercing unit. These thorned ancients, though, are who I'm going to be trying to focus on a fair bit. I know these guys are very much, I mean, kind of the same vibe. I know I shouldn't keep relating this to like Warhammer Fantasy, but it's just an easy way for my brain to click. You know, I'm imagining these guys as the same sort of vibe as the Treekin, not really about dealing damage quickly, from what I've heard. They are much more about just sitting there, taking an absolute beating, and then over here we've got the Gloom Hunters, and some shades off the Guarded Path as well, mixed in amongst each other. Toward the far side here, we've got the more shades and more of these Gloom Hunters with good, fantastic. I was wondering if we'd get him. Oh yeah, so what's the vibe here? Is that the general who's been put? Oh god, he's a very cute boy. Look at his eyes. I love him. Is he as big as an Ant? He must be. Yeah, because he's down as heavy cavalry. So yeah, I think he's the same sort of vibe as the Ants, but just probably a lot more scary. Yeah. So this is the thing. Has he put his general in there, or is that the main thing of the unit again? I just can't remember if this guy's always there or if that's it. Because I think that is the general, and that's just where he's going to go. He's just riding that. I like that vibe a lot. You know, just an elf sitting there on the back of that end. It's where you get a good view of the battlefield, really. So it's where you kind of want to be. So we'll start away. I will be focusing a fair bit more on tactics than normal, but I do just want to stress, like, these battles have not been chosen because they're incredibly interesting or incredibly close. You know, I'm doing these battles very much because it's just basically me looking at how the units behave. That's the main vibe again. So you know, you're going to get the occasional one that's not super duper close, but I mean that's kind of what you get from 1v1s anyway. Gloom Hunters charging on over here. Oh, they look very cool as they're running across. I do like. I love the aesthetic of the Avari here. I almost called them Grey Elves for a second. No, I was confusing them with the with the actual Grey Elves. What does Avari sort of mean again? No, because I thought Avari was kind of a meaning of Grey Elf, but I might be confusing my lore a bit. We've got the Foresters of Nimberthil here. So I'm getting the vibe that these guys are a phalanx, just because of the way they're holding their spears up as they're hiding. Makes me think that they're they're going to be forming a little phalanx. Looks like we are again doing a little sort of a shift around on each other. Those Thorned Ancients are bolting across the field. Certainly not as fast as some sort of cavalry, but they can gun it when they want to. Definitely a lot faster than most infantry forces. And this is Batu he's playing against today. Over here, I think we've got the first clash. So again, that was pretty quick, but that was what we expected. Let me go down to 0.8 because I really want to see this clash. Gloom Hunters connecting with the Foresters. So, well, no matter what the Foresters were, they've just been absolutely overwhelmed by this. But I mean, this was 2 full units, maybe even 3, sort of clashing into that flank there. The Marines of Brithombar as well, trying to clash away. But again, it looks like the Gloom Hunters are... Gloom Hunters off the track list. Off the track list dark. That's base. I really like that vibe. That's really cool. Yeah, just sort of the naming schemes for some of this stuff. Does seem very daunting. Goodness me, and these guys do look scary. The Avari are a spooky bunch. They're a spooky bunch, I'm not going to lie. So, again, as I thought, we've got a lot of just aggression here. We've got these Rangers of the Hidden Path. What are you opening up on? And did we get... Don't think we've had that Grandfather in melee yet. I'll be trying to watch out for that. Panthan, maybe a bit... Oh, shoot, we've missed some stuff here. The Rangers still just opening up with that poison. Wait, are they throwing those? It's like, oh, cool, it's like little... Interesting. So it changes into an arrow. Oh my god, that's brutal. But again, like those Warriors of Eglarest, they're quite lightly armored, aren't they? So this will just rip them apart. And whatever that, I'm assuming that's poison damage there. But the Rangers are going to be absolutely rattled in turn for that, and that is not something that he wants. He's going to get those boys back. Over here, Stonehewers connecting with the Seafarers of Brythombar. Looks to be a pretty even clash. Maybe the Stonehewers are kind of struggling a little bit. They are outnumbered just a little. But it's a lot of high damage from each. The Seafarers of Brythombar, not... yeah, I was going to say something else for a minute. The Stonehewers seem to be rattling these guys down pretty quick. There's a lot of AP, well, not a lot. There's a bit of AP I'm expecting from the Seafarers because they're all armed with those little maces. But overall, looks like the Stonehewers are going to lose that, but they're going to make these Seafarers bleed. Ah, good. Okay, we've got the... We've got our Ancient Thorned ones. Ancient Thorns? No, sorry, Thorned Ancients. Sort of breaking into the Warriors here. So, yeah, great. So I was going to say we want some AP getting in on this. Each of these boys has 8 hit points. Absolutely colossal amount of hit points. And very sort of sturdy. Anyway, so, I mean, I said that they wouldn't be inflicting mass casualties. They've done some good casualties there. So that's definitely pretty messy. The Warriors, the Seafarers are hopefully going to help out with that a bit. As are some Javelins. But that's really just going to tie up this whole section of the battlefield for a long while. Again, a very interesting unit in terms of sieges. It'll be quite interested to see how that how they play. And how you can sort of use them both offensively and defensively. Gloom Hunters here, again, sort of having some good successes. Everywhere we look, apart from, most of the places we look, it seems the Avari elves are gaining some good control. But it looks like maybe they've just suffered a bit from range damage. And being out in the open is definitely not somewhere they want to be. And I'll be interested to see just the sheer numbers at the end of it. It feels like there's so many more of these coastal elves around rather than the Avari. Rangers there, once they've used up all their little sort of javelins. I don't really want to call it a javelin. I kind of want to just call it like a big throwing dart or a throwing arrow. They become these little assassins with those 2 blades. Warriors of Eglarest still fighting out, a few of them left behind. What we got here? Shades moving over. A few routing units. Yeah, a few routing survivors. So yeah, really lashing out at his left flank and then just coming on in. Again, just still using that aggression. The Grandfather there. Do you have any... You're a bit bloodied? Or is that just... Whoa! Whoa! Okay. What was that? What was that? Yeah, do that again. Do that again. Whoa! Whoa! Okay then. So I'm guessing that he's not firing a cannon there, but he's of course throwing a big old ball, throwing a big stone over here, and this is like an elephant cannon that we're using to get that done. That's very interesting. Didn't actually kill those guys, but it did knock down a hell of a lot of them. Did a good bit of damage to these guys, I'm sure, but just not enough. Oh, and that's pretty rapid fire. That is really quite rapid fire there. As they continue to sort of bolt on back from that. Not very fun. I don't know how much ammunition the Grandfather gets, but yeah, definitely a bit nasty. If we can get some javelins, see, I try my best to get those javelins into the big old ent in the back there. That big Grandfather, he's kind of what's scaring me. So we got these Aaron Lim, who I would have assumed could definitely go toe to toe with most of what's on the field today. But it looks like the mixture of Gloom Hunters and Shades has been pretty tough for them. Being outnumbered in that way is never fun. I kind of want to follow this You kind of want to follow the grandfather a little bit. I probably wouldn't put my general in with him. Sometimes it's kind of fun to put, say if you're playing as Harad or something like that, it's kind of fun to put your general in with the Mumikil. But it's, nah, because like all it takes is one of the Mumikil to go down, your general's dead. Or, you know, it's nice to get your general as an actual model on the field. Sometimes those fights can come down to the last few men, and having some pretty powerful boy on the field can really help. But on that grandfather's back, he can be pretty safe, so it's good. The Thorned, I'm probably going to accidentally call these guys Thorned ones a lot. So Thorned Ancients, though, is what I'm meaning. They're sort of clashing in now, and it's a bit more of an organised fight. What they had previously, where they were right in the middle, and they were just ripping people up all around them. Although they would have suffered a lot more damage a lot more quickly, that's 2 units off them as well. Batu's got mixed in amongst each other. He's using them as a bit of a wrecking ball. As I say, I was imagining these guys are much more of like a holding unit, a very defensive unit, maybe something that you want to mix in amongst your infantry. He's got them just running around as I say, this wrecking ball smashing through these Elves of Falas. And I mean, it worked out incredibly well at the start, but I think maybe because of the rigidity of the Aaron Kirlim and the AP power of those seafarers, we're having a good bit of trouble, sort of getting quick damage to here, and we're also taking a bit of a beating. And once you start seeing 1 or 2 of them drop, you're gonna be seeing a lot more of them drop very quickly because those hit points are down. I like this from Panthan, just sort of repositioning, especially in such a short fight. He's sort of entirely repositioned over here. You know, I'm pretty bad for just when the clash begins. That's it now. You know, oofed. And that was to the back as well. Holy smokes! And these Marines of Brythonbar, you know, they've got very low armor values, so you know, those shields not coming into play is just gonna have them die super quick. I'm surprised that Batu's been able to save ammunition for this point, and I guess maybe that poison damage too. In Reforged, poison damage does, it has a morale damaging effect. I don't know if that is the same here or not, or if poison does something else. Maybe as a specific, I couldn't really know. I don't really know I don't know what we're capable of with the Medieval 2 system, you know. So I like this little position here. You know, in a 1v1, sometimes it's a bit nasty to say take a position like this, but I think, you know, this isn't where he deployed in. He's moved to this position. I think this is totally fine to do. He's still got these marksmen of Balar opening up, firing around him. I think that this is going to be one of my big things as well, just trying to understand which archers have 5 arrows and which archers have 20 arrows. You know, so that I know, like that screwed me up with the herdsman. Ah, fantastic. Cool. So that screwed me up a lot in the last fight. Oh no! Oh, come on, dude. We almost had you. Oh, this is... Oh no! Come on, look at me! Damn it! I'm trying to get a good shot of you, man. But no, he's camera shy. It's alright. Where was I? Yeah, in the last fight we had the... Oh, interesting. Sorry. 1 point at a time, Ryan. Yeah, in the last fight, we had those herdsmen, and I really thought they were just going to be destructive at range, but they've only really got, you know, 5 arrows. So had I seen that coming at me in a field battle, I would have reacted very differently, because I would have thought, oh shoot, they're going to be able to grind me down for ages. I've got to get in their face. Now, something we're seeing here from this great Ent, he's coming in. Ooh, so he's sort of attacking with this very mobile. Maybe that's the best. So what we see from normal Ents is they're standing there and they're kicking. And they're kicking down a lot of people, and they're doing this damage very reliably and constantly. Whereas he sort of comes in here and he does... Alright, he's not doing it now. Or is he? Whereas he was doing, as I say, this like constant rush forward, push, push, push. And he's doing damage, but he's not doing damage to as many people as quickly. But maybe the benefit is he's moving. Which you kind of maybe need, because when Ents come in as a group, they're coming in as maybe 5 or 6 Ents, so it doesn't matter too much they're staying in one place, whereas he's alone, so he maybe needs that movement ability as he's attacking. But you're seeing he's not doing that now, and now he's just kind of... Okay, that was quite a big attack. There was quite a lot of people that went down there, or quite a lot of people that were injured. Again, yeah, pretty good, but I'm sure that Ents are having a bigger area of effect. Just so you know, I'm sort of kicking right now. Luckily, well, not luckily, I record my videos standing up. I have a nice little standing desk, so I'm able to sort of act out my actions, you know, act out my thoughts quite nicely. So I'm sort of just booting the air right now as I'm pretending to be an ant. Those shades there now. So yeah, that was pretty wild. I think, I mean, I'd like to think that was a pretty good example of sort of the Avari kind of aggression. As say, maybe we would have seen something a bit different in a map with a bit more cover, say, or I would like to see what happens, say, using those ancient ones. Ancient ones? Thorned ancients, goodness sake. Thorned ones, ancient ones, Jesus. I'll get there. Thorned ancients. Using them to, like, mix in amongst your line. Like, say you had a group of these rangers with some thorned ancients mixed in amongst them. Is, you know, how would that have gone instead? But it was such an aggressive little, like, throw them in. It was nice. And they're so fast as well, so you can kind of get some good work. A bit of a spoiler for my one. I say I want to do that one last. Start it with one of the ones that I was in and end it with one of the ones I was in. But in the one that I played, I was actually having my cavalry chased. He was chasing around my cavalry with the Thorned Ancients, which was quite a bit of fear, quite a bit of fear from that. What else is there? Are there still any Avari, or are they generally just running past? Yeah, I think it's just really a few rangers there and the grandfather. So he's a pretty beefy boy, of course. He doesn't gain any benefit from having the general in amongst them, I don't think. But I don't see him again because he's sort of just. He doesn't seem to be attacking over this very large area. There he goes down there. And interesting, because I've never, all the way, whenever I play like Reforged, I never hear like the Haradrim general say like, you know, praise be to Allah. Have we removed that voice line? You know, I don't know. I don't know if you can remove just like individual voice lines. Don't see why not. Yeah. Anyway, so nice. Yeah, I'll be interested. I think this was generally just sort of a one across the board. I don't think there was, say, one individual unit. Yeah, you can see numbers-wise, that was a big surprise to me. I know 2 units of Thorned Ancients are going to really set your numbers back, but like that big a numbers disparity is something that is so difficult. And because like everywhere that we were seeing fights happen, the Avari were rolling, the Avari were killing people like crazy. But then at the end of it, it was like, yeah, I've still got half my army, you know. Because, and you know, yeah, sure, you've killed half of my friends, but like I'm still kicking. So it's a bit scary. Seafarers there, Berthombar, nice. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any like big like, yeah, those poor foresters got ruined. They got absolutely shredded. Poor boys. Aaron Kirlem, yeah, seemed to be sort of able to match the enemy pretty, you know, fairly. But throughout the rest of it, apart from some, say, lucky javelin guys here and there, these poor Marines of Eglaris, dear me, they must have gotten shot up or something, without getting any kills there. But yeah, so I think that was kind of the vibe. Just so I'll need to maybe have a look at like Avari. I know I've got another Avari fight, so it'll be cool to see how other people may play Avari. See if we can get a few numbers packed on or something like that. Maybe not instead of 2 Thorned Ancients, maybe just 1. Maybe instead of the grandfather, something else. Yeah, because the grandfather is just 1 guy as well, so that's not really filling up the unit count. But yeah, cool. Thank you very much, and we'll jump into the next one.